We got another question for the mailbag on Instagram. Who are the three most overrated and the three most underrated players in the draft, in your opinion? I'm going to start off with saying a name that a lot of people aren't really familiar with. But that's wide receiver Javon Baker. He comes from the University of Central Florida. This dude is the best kept secret in this draft class. All right. He is a top six receiver. He's my sixth ranked wide receiver in this year's draft class. He's a really good route runner. He has really good body control, which allows him to win a lot of 50 balls and a lot of contested catch situations consistently. He's just smooth, he's fluent, and he started his college career at Alabama. And he surprisingly transferred away from Alabama, which is a surprise to me because with how good he's been the last couple of years at UCF and with how lackluster the wide receiver position has been for Bama football the last couple of years, you would think, what the hell were they doing letting this guy just transfer out? Why wasn't he getting more opportunities? Because this dude was an absolute stud at UCF. And he's everything that you want and the number one wide receiver. Does he have anything that he does exceptionally well? Outside of having good body control, I think he's a really good all-around wide receiver. He's not great at one particular area, but he's good and polished at the majority of things that you're looking for out of a wide receiver. I'm trying to tell you guys, like, Javon Baker really should be a first-round pick. Truthfully, with how good he's going to be this season as a rookie, any team, if your favorite team drafts Javon Baker this year, just know that you're getting an absolute steal. If you're somebody that plays dynasty fantasy football or underdog fantasy, you need to be getting Javon Baker, bro. Great ball skills, good route runner, has a little bit of yak ability, fluid athlete. This is as good as an all-around wide receiver prospect as you're going to find for where he's expected to get drafted at. So Javon Baker, definitely an underrated wide receiver prospect that isn't getting enough love. You know who else isn't getting enough love, in my opinion? Spencer Rattler. Look, I get that how things ended at Oklahoma has left a bad taste in many of you guys' mouths. If you remember the quarterback docuseries that he was featured in when he was back in high school, he came out kind of as a jerk and an asshole. But the growth of Spencer Rattler from a character standpoint has been really big. South Carolina, that coaching staff, that team, that fan base, that community, they have nothing but positive things to say about Spencer Rattler's character. And he definitely carries himself way more humble, way more mature now than what he did a few years ago. That's what this is all about. When you first start college, you're young. You're growing up, you're maturing, you're learning how to become an adult. There's a reason why he was team captain for South Carolina. He also had a really good season last year. South Carolina just had a crappy team. If he played for Alabama possibly would have beaten Michigan. I felt like he was better than Jalen Milroe. He has really good accuracy. As a matter of fact, he had one of the highest on-target percentages in all of college football last year. He dominated the Senior Bowl. He was Senior Bowl MVP, really good pro day, good performance at the combine. He should be a second-round pick. But every time I see people making posts about Spencer Rattler, there's always a lot of haters in the comment section saying, oh, this dude is trash. He's overrated. Ain't this the dude who got benched for Caleb Williams? Yeah. So? Jalen Hurts got benched for Tua in the national championship years ago. And Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Tua in the NFL. So does it really matter if he got benched? It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. That's what the transfer portal is about. Your first opportunity didn't go so well. So you got to transfer elsewhere and make the most of a better opportunity. that you perceive for yourself. And Spencer Rattler did that. Going to South Carolina, he didn't win a lot of games, but the team just failed him. The offensive line instantly was allowing defensive linemen to get instant penetration damn near. Like, South Carolina's offensive line has been so bad for the last half a decade, it should be illegal. He didn't have no receivers. Juice Wells pretty much quit on the team during the season, and Leggett was all he had. Spencer Rattler needs some more respect. I think he's going to be one of the biggest steals in the draft. And I just saw a report that said the Rams were really interested in trading for Sam Howell. It's pretty obvious that the Rams are trying to find the successor for Matthew Stafford. He doesn't have too many years left. I believe Spencer Rattler could be that dude. Ricky Pearsall, we got another wide receiver that is going under the radar. Pretty Ricky at Florida. Didn't have top-notch production at UF, but that was because of QB play. Once he gets better quarterback play in the National Football League, he's going to be an instant stud. The question for me with Ricky Pearsall is, where is he going to play at the next level? Is he going to play in the slot? Can he play outside? He has great hands. He's a smooth, not even smooth, that's an understatement. He's a silky smooth route runner. He runs phenomenal routes. He creates a lot of separation when he gets open, really fluid in and out of his breaks. There's questions about his play strength. How good is he going to be against man coverage in the National Football League? I think he should hold up pretty well. He did really good during Senior Bowl week. Carolina, they should be the first team that should be interested in looking to draft Ricky Pearsall in rounds 2 or 3 whenever it's their turn to pick and they're on the board. He would be a great fit for Carolina. What was Carolina lacking last year? Wide receivers that know how to separate. Wideouts that can get open. Ricky Pearsall does that with ease. Hell, there was one catch that I saw him make, I believe it was against LSU or Kentucky, with damn near only 3 fingers. Silky smooth, route runner, really good, shifty after the catch. He's like a bigger version, but better version of Cole Beasley, if that makes sense. He's a better version of Cole Beasley. He's like the 2024 updated Cole Beasley. Better route runner, better hands, more athletic, stronger, faster, and has a possibility of being a really good slot receiver at the next level. So these are my 3 underrated prospects for the draft. But now I got to talk about my 3. Does it piss you off how much you pay for your monthly phone bill? Why are you getting frustrated when our partner Mint Mobile has plans as low as $15 a month that give you unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network? Stop getting frustrated with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and go to trymintmobile.com/JTsports and description and pin comment down below to get access to premium wireless for only $15 a month. That's only $15 a month. Switching to Mint is easy. It only takes 15 minutes to do. If you're pissed off with how much you pay for your monthly phone bill, switch to Mint Mobile today and go to trymintmobile.com/JTsports in description and pin comment down below to get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Stop getting upset with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and switch to Mint Mobile today. Overrated? We're going to start off with Xavier Worthy. This one is no secret to you guys. He's the most overrated prospect, in my opinion, in the draft. Yes, we know that the dude broke the combine record. Kudos to him for that. He is a really good route runner, and he is really good after the catch. But the problem is that he doesn't get off press coverage that consistently. He got bullied against Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold when Texas played Alabama. And you can say, oh, JT, look at the stats when they go up against Bama. He cooks Alabama every time they play. F the stats. F them. If you watch the tape, you will see the only time Xavier Worthy got open in that game was when Alabama played off him, when they didn't press him. Every time he got pressed, he struggled. Oh, well, JT, that's Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold. They're going to be 2 potential first-round corners. Of course he's going to struggle. That's my point, crazy. Repeat that again. He struggled against Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrier Arnold, two cornerbacks who expected to be first-round picks this year. If he's struggling against two projected first-round picks, what makes you think that he's not going to struggle against better cornerbacks in the National Football League? Everybody hates the Big 12 because they play no damn defense. You're going to give this dude all this props for making all these big plays against these Big 12 defenses? Cool, but where was this against Washington? Where was this when they were going up against press coverage against Alabama? I'm just saying, Xavier Worthy's size doesn't concern me. I'm the same person last year whose number one and number two wide receivers consecutively was Zay Flowers and Tank Dell. And you guys can go back and watch that. I got receipts for that. Tank Dell was my number two. Zay Flowers was my number one. And they were both incredibly undersized. Zay Flowers, 5'9", 182 pounds, but he was more built than what Xavier Worthy is. Tank Dell is 165 pounds. They say that Xavier Worthy is like 165 pounds. When I watch him, he looks like he's 155. You can't tell me that's not water weight. Now, will he be able to stay healthy at this size? I don't know, but if you can't get off the line against Alabama's cornerbacks, I don't see how you're going to be able to have a lot of success doing that in the National Football League. And I know that a player's success in the draft highly comes from where they get drafted to, but there's really only three places I think Xavier Worthy can go for him to actually have a good career in the NFL. Because he has to go to an offense that can scheme him open. I don't think he's going to get open just by himself playing slide or outside because he's super small and he doesn't do a good job getting off the line. Tank Dell was small, but you will rarely see anybody have success pressing Tank Dell. You press Tank Dell, you're going to regret it. Instant mistake. So Xavier Worthy, super overrated. The most overrated player in the draft this year. J.J. McCarthy. I don't think the dude's going to suck, but I don't see any reason why a team like Minnesota should trade the farm to get him in the top 5 or even the top 10. I would not invest the top 10 pick in J.J. McCarthy. The highest that I would draft J.J. McCarthy is the top 20. That's it. And if you were to ask me where I would draft them personally, top 20 is still too high. I probably would take him in the second round. This dude is so overrated because Jim Harbaugh makes it seem like this dude is the greatest quarterback that ever touched the football since we last saw Andrew Luck. It's like Caleb Williams doesn't exist, Jaden Daniels doesn't exist. If J.J. McCarthy was that good, why didn't he win the Heisman? Why wasn't he better against TCU? Why wasn't he better against Alabama? Michigan won games because J.J. McCarthy was good enough. They didn't ask him to do a lot. Against Penn State, Chop Robinson was killing one of their offensive tackles, so they said, you know what? We're just going to bang the passing game because we don't really need it anyway, and we're just going to run the ball 31 straight times to end the game. I find it hard to believe that Michigan just decided to run the football 31 straight times that game just because they couldn't trust one offensive lineman on their team. I think they couldn't trust J.J. McCarthy. And I think they just didn't trust J.J. McCarthy to be that kind of quarterback that can lead you to a game. He can be a good game manager, but people told the 49ers back in 2021 that they couldn't draft Mac Jones 3rd overall because you can't draft a quarterback with that low of a ceiling, that high. So J.J. McCarthy, if he's getting compared to Alex Smith, why is it that people are saying he should be a top 10 pick? That makes no sense to me. This is one of those instances where I believe the fans are going to get one over on the NFL executives. There seems to be this conception that just because these NFL executives are in the NFL and we're not, they know more than us. That's not the case a lot of the times. That's why these dudes get fired and they end up being in the same location we're at. on the damn couch. They get things wrong all the time. And J.J. McCarthy is going to be one of those, like Mitch Trubisky, like Deshaun Kaiser. We were telling these fools, don't draft them high. They draft them anyway, and they get fired. Troy Franklin, you talk about how overrated Xavier Worthy is. Troy Franklin takes the cake. People say, well, he has great size. The dude is 6'3", 176 pounds. That doesn't really look like a great profile when it comes to physical attributes at the next level. He also has good size, but he doesn't win contested balls as often as you would like. When you have that kind of size, that kind of frame, I need you to be more aggressive. I need you to be better at coming down with those 50-50 balls. He also has the issue with drops. He's a good route runner, but he's not good beating press coverage. And with that size, when he gets matched up against a Jalen Ramsey at the next level, he's going to get absolutely obliterated. There was a play against Washington where he got open because, he was able to beat press coverage when Washington got caught lacking playing cover 2. That was it. Like, I think that Troy Franklin has a lot of traits that translate to him being nothing more than just a really good deep threat, vertical deep threat. You just tell him to run post and 9 routes all day, and that's a large part of his game. He is really good after the catch, though, if you can find a way to get him the ball in space. He could be DK Metcalf, but without the freakish physical profile. He's not the easiest guy to bring down after the catch because he is fast. He does have really quick start acceleration. It's like as soon as he touches the football, it's off to the races with him. But I just don't see how this dude is going to be all that good. I think at most, he's a wide receiver 3 at best at the next level. I don't see him having that number 1 or wide receiver 2 upside just because he has an issue with drops. He doesn't really play up to his size. He's 176 pounds. The dude is built like a damn giraffe, for crying out loud, on the football field. And he does run good routes. He is a really good athlete, but I've seen a lot of wide receivers come out that have similar profiles to Troy Franklin who don't work out. So these are my 3 most overrated and underrated prospects in the upcoming 2024 NFL draft. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of agreements in the comment section of this one.